They came with papers, stamped with the ink of debt. They came with promises, gilded with the rust of slavery. They came with dollars, not in gold, not in sweat, not in dignity, but in digital chains forged by the same empire that once carved our mothers and fathers into cargo, and they call it relief. Relief, 3 billion coins poisoned at the root, $3 billion, but each one dripping with the memory of shackles. 3 billion promises, but behind each one, a plan to own our tomorrow. Africa, hear me, this is not charity, this is conquest. Wrapped in soft paper, this is not aid, this is surveillance. Hidden in the language of finance, this is not relief, this is recolonization, digital, invisible, silent. But the drums of the ancestors still beat. The wind still carries the cry of Sankara. The soil still remembers the blood of Nkrumah's dream. And the youth, the youth. They are not blind. They are fire. They are storm. They are the sunrise, refusing to bow. We stand at the crossroad of centuries. One path is comfort, the comfort of chains polished to look like jewels. The other is struggle, the struggle that births nations, the struggle that awakens destiny. And Africa has chosen. Not the dollar, not the debt, not the silence. Africa has chosen to rise. They say, Africa, here is 3 billion, take it and you will be free. But freedom cannot be borrowed. Freedom cannot be rented. Freedom cannot be bought with the very coins that chain us. Look closer, my brothers and sisters. That gift is not a bridge to our destiny. It is a cage, a golden cage shining so brightly that the blind might mistake it for light. But listen, what good is gold if it is locked around your wrist? What good is silver if it silences your tongue? This is not liberation. It is a leash. They give us billions, but they take away our will. They dress it as relief. But it is only control wrapped in silk. They call it aid, but it is only debt. A debt that feeds on the sweat of the farmer, the strength of the miner, the dreams of the youth. We must realize every coin comes with a chain. Every contract hides a trap. Every loan builds a wall between Africa and her own destiny. But resistance begins with sight, and we see now. We see the IMF for what it is, the same empire in a new suit. We see the pattern. From slave ships to colonial borders to bank loans dressed as salvation. Always the same story. Take their resources, weaken their will, control their tomorrow. No more. Africa will resist. Africa will rise. Not by begging at the door of the IMF, but by building our own doors. Not by bowing to their conditions, but by creating our own conditions. The fire of Sankara still burns. The storm of Nkrumah still rumbles. The soil still remembers Lumumba's cry. We must unite, for one voice can be silenced, but a chorus shakes the heavens. One hand can be chained, but 1,000 hands can break the lock. One nation can be bought, but a united Africa cannot be sold. The vision is clear, a dawn where Africa feeds herself, funds herself, frees herself. A morning where our children inherit not debts, but dreams. So let us choose, chains of gold or freedom of fire. Let us rise, not for 3 billion borrowed coins, but for the priceless future waiting to be claimed. They whisper of a new era. They tell us, do not fear the future, Africa. The digital dollar is here. It will modernize you. It will connect you. It will save you. But I ask you, can chains become lighter simply because they are invisible? Can slavery become softer simply because it is coded in algorithms instead of iron? This is the dream they sell, a dream polished with technology but poisoned with control. A digital dollar not made for Africa's freedom, but for Afrin, Ika's submission. A coin without a face, yet bearing the shadow of empire. A system without chains, yet binding our every breath to their screens. Realize this, money has always been their weapon. Yesterday it was gold drained from our soil. Then it was paper printed in their capitals. Today it is numbers on a screen, controlled from afar. Different mask, same master. Different cage, same captivity. But resistance lives in the truth. We must unmask the lie. The digital dollar is not innovation for us. It is surveillance against us. It is not opportunity. It is obedience. It is not progress. It is a prison built with codes and contracts. Yet Africa is not powerless. We are the root, not the branch. We are the seed, not the shadow. Our future cannot be outsourced to those who once auctioned our ancestors. Our wealth cannot be digitized away by those who never sowed the soil. Unity is our firewall. If we stand divided, they will code our destiny line by line. But if we rise together, farmer and teacher, miner and student, north and south, then no algorithm can erase us. No currency can control us. No empire can program our tomorrow. The vision is clear. An Africa that writes its own code, mints its own coin, tells its own story. An Africa whose digital revolution grows from her own roots, not from foreign wires. So I ask you, will we sleep in their digital dream or awaken in our own dawn? Will we accept new chains in disguise or forge new tools of liberation? Africa, the future is not in their servers. The future is in our hands. They tell us, forget the past, move on, focus on development. But how can a people forget when the very chains of yesterday are simply repainted for today? How can we move forward when the echo of history still pounds like a drum in our ears? Once they came with ships carved from oak, dripping with iron, filled with the cries of our stolen sons and daughters. They took our bodies as cargo, our strength as merchandise, our dreams as dust. They called it trade, but it was theft. They called it progress, but it was blood. Now they come with loans, papers instead of chains, contracts instead of whips, interest rates instead of shackles, and still, they call it partnership. But look closely, the plantation has changed, not the master. The slave ship has been reborn as the bank. The auction block has been reborn as the boardroom. And Africa is still told, work, produce, deliver, but never truly own. We must realize this pattern. History is not a ghost locked in the past. It is alive, repeating itself in silence. Every loan signed without sovereignty, every debt accepted without dignity is another chapter of slavery written in invisible ink. But resistance grows when we remember. We are not children without memory. We are descendants of warriors who survived the ships, who outlived the whips, who whispered freedom songs in the darkness of the hold. If they could endure, we can resist. If they could dream through chains, we can build through struggle. Unity is our shield. Alone, a nation may be drowned in debt. Together, a continent can break the cycle. Alone, a leader may be bought. Together, a people cannot be sold. The vision is clear. An Africa no longer defined by loans, but by legacy. An Africa that funds herself, feeds herself, and frees herself. An Africa where our children inherit not contracts of debt, but contracts of destiny. So I ask you, will we sail once more on their ships disguised as loans, or will we build our own vessels, vessels of unity, vessels of dignity, vessels that carry us toward a dawn of true sovereignty? Africa, history's echo is loud, but louder still must be our answer. They come again with their contracts, their promises, their glittering chains. They say, young Africa, take this money, take these programs, take these digital coins. Forget your struggle, forget your roots, forget your power. We will buy your future as we bought your past. But listen closely. The youth of Africa are not for sale. We are the fire they cannot quench. We are the storm they cannot silence. We are the dawn they cannot delay. Realize this, brothers and sisters. They fear the youth because the youth cannot be controlled. The old generation may remember defeat, but the youth remember only possibility. The youth are not weighed down by the rust of old chains. They are seeds, unbroken, unbent, unstoppable. They tried to buy our ancestors with mirrors and rum. They tried to buy our nations with loans and lies. And now they try to buy our future with dollars that do not even exist on paper. But resistance has a new face. It is young, it is restless, it is bold. It speaks in classrooms, in marketplaces, in music, in protests, in digital networks across the continent. It burns in the eyes of students who refuse silence. It marches in the footsteps of Sankara, of Biko, of Lumumba. Unity is our shield. For one young voice can be dismissed, but a million young voices form thunder. One young protest can be crushed, but a continent of youth is an unbreakable tide. The vision is clear, an Africa led not by fear, but by fire. An Africa where the young are not workers for foreign empires, but architects of their own destiny. An Africa where innovation is born from African soil, not imported from foreign hands. So I ask you, Will we let them buy our tomorrow with empty coins? Will we let them chain our dreams with digital ropes, or will we rise as fire? Fire that purifies, fire that builds, fire that lights the road to freedom. Africa, the youth will not be bow. Africa, the silence is over. The spirit has returned, the dawn has broken, and we, together, shall finish the song he began. The night has been long, Africa, a night of chains, a night of hunger, a night of betrayal written in treaties and contracts, in debts and deceptions. But no night is eternal. And now, beyond the mountains, beyond the rivers, beyond the wounds of history, the first light rises. The dawn is coming. The drums of a new age are already echoing through our villages, through our cities, through the restless hearts of our people. Realize this: the dawn does not arrive without struggle. The sun does not break the horizon without first wrestling the darkness. Freedom is not gifted. It is carved from sacrifice, born from blood, raised by courage. Every inch of light we claim will demand sweat, will demand fire, will demand an unshakable refusal to kneel. For too long they trained us to bend to their loans, bend to their currencies, bend to their false prophets of globalization. But today Africa rises unbent. Today we speak not in whispers but in thunder. Today we remember a continent on its knees cannot see the sunrise. Unity is our weapon. Alone we are vulnerable. Divided we are prey. But together we are the storm that breaks the chains. Together we are the bridge that crosses every imposed border. Together we are the seed that grows into a forest no empire can uproot. The vision is alive, an Africa that kneels only to God, not to the IMF. An Africa whose wealth feeds its children, not foreign markets. An Africa where the farmer, the miner, the student, the worker, the leader all walk shoulder to shoulder, not as servants, but as sovereigns. So I ask you, will we stumble back into the night or march forward into the dawn? Will we kneel again before their false altars of aid? Or will we rise as one body, one voice, one fire? Rika, the dawn is not coming. The dawn is here. The chains are not unbreakable. They are already breaking. And we, united, unafraid, unyielding, shall never kneel again. Africa, the hour is late, but the fire is rising. We have seen their chains. We have heard their lies. We have walked their roads of debt, their bridges of betrayal, their promises written in the ink of slavery. But no more. Now the drums are calling. Now the ancestors are watching. Now the youth are marching. This is the choice before us. Kneel and inherit nothing, or rise and claim everything. Sleep in the comfort of chains, or wake in the storm of freedom. Do not wait for leaders to save you. Be the leaders. Do not wait for saviors from outside. Be the saviors from within. Do not wait for dawn to arrive. Be the dawn that breaks the night. Africa's tomorrow is not in the hands of the IMF. It is not in the hands of Washington. It is not in the hands of Paris or Beijing. It is in our hands, in your hands, in my hands, in the hands of every child born under this sun. So let us rise. Rise with fire. Rise with unity. Rise with a refusal that shakes the earth. We shall not kneel. For the storm is here. The chains are breaking. And the new Africa, proud, free,